Today we sit down with a lawyer and a public servant, a woman returning to the spotlight not for power, but for clarity and truth as a spokesperson for the one of the most controversial government official. Good morning on behalf of Attorney Jimeno. I'm Gerg Cahiles, and this is At the Forefront. With a mind sharpened by decades of private legal practice, Attorney Ruth Castelo has previously served the halls of government, faced scrutiny and criticisms head-on. Now, she stands as the voice of the second highest elected official in the country. What drives her to step back into the limelight at a time of intense political pressure? With us this morning is a spokesperson of the Office of the Vice President, Attorney Ruth Castelo. Good morning, Attorney Ruth.
Oh, George?
Yes. Opo,
Yes, hi, good morning.
And it's good that we have you here sa studio ng BNC. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. In behalf also of the Vice President, we'd like to thank you, the news channel, and everyone here. Maraming salamat. Despite the rainy day.
I know. Buti nga po at maaga kayong dumating dito. But
Yeah.
before we go to issue-based questions, Attorney, as the spokesperson of the OVP, let's get to know you first on a personal level. So we'll be showing you photos po sa LED natin. Makikita nyo doon. And in 30 seconds, you just have to tell me what's the significance of those photos, and you have to wait for me to say, timer starts now before you start.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
sige po.
All
Let's
right.
start with Stella. You studied elementary and high school in Stella College. Now in 30 seconds, briefly share how a non-based education influenced your values and life decisions. Timer starts now.
Well, I'd have to say that this is where I learned my values, the values that I carry with me up to now. This is where I found real friends who I keep up to now, and this is also where I learned to appreciate the teachers who honed us, who taught us, who were patient with us, and who gave us everything that we needed to learn, practical or otherwise, academic or otherwise. And it was a lot of fun.
Can you describe to us, kamusta po si Attorney Ruth as a student?
As a child?
Yes.
Depende kasi there's a difference between...
All right.
Yeah, so as a child, I was... well, my teachers would always say, pag nag-aral ka, valedictorian ka. But I also liked having fun. So I would, in late grade school until high school, I would rather hang out with friends.
Yes.
Outside the classroom, right, and laugh while the others were studying inside the classroom for a quiz arriving in 30 minutes. So it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I still have a lot of friends from Stella who I have kept over the years and who are still with me up to now.
How about your parents, ma'am? Wala bang pressure from your parents knowing they were from the government? Tama ba?
Yes, both of them were from government.
Wala bang pressure para sa inyo to be like, magkaroon ng honor, other
to be
students?
a cum laude or a summa cum laude.
Yeah,
No,
something like that.
there was none, except that, of course, they would want us to get passing grades and then move up every year, right? So that was expected. But as to pressure of getting an award, my parents probably knew it will come when it's like, it will come. I have a sister, younger than me, who also did not study. Like, studying was for her pastime, so to speak. But she would get honors every year.
Wow.
Until graduation, until high school,
Same in
from
your
grade
case.
school, college. No, I never got awards. I was just like a passing student, but I was fine. The teachers knew that I knew more, but also they just didn't force me to study harder. And watching the nuns in Stella Maris, syempre medyo takot ka, di ba? Kasi madre sila. And then,
Pero alam mo, Attorney, yung Stella Maris hindi siya basta-bastang school, no? So, ano ba yung trabaho po, sabi niyo nasa government yung parents niyo. What were they doing in the government before?
Oh, my dad my dad is a retired police major.
Okay.
He's from the Manila's finest. And then my mom is also a retired government employee from the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. She was a researcher and assessor, auditor. I think that's what she did because she's an accounting major. She's an accountant.
Are you related to the Sotos, Castelo Sotos? No?
We are somehow, I would think, yes, because they're also from Cabanatuan City in Nueva Ecija. I understand Anthony is very close to us, and it's Anthony linking the other Castelos, all the other Castelos together. We have a common great-grandfather, that's Oscar Castelo.
Okay, just for the benefit of everyone, Anthony Castelo was the singer.
Yes, the singer.
Performer.
Yes, that's
All
right. He's very close to all of us in the family.
All right. So now, sabi niyo kanina, you're playful, lagi kang, and you have long friends that you've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
Hanggang ngayon, you still
Yes,
see each other.
up to now. As a child, kasi if you really want to get to know me as a child, I would always volunteer to the limelight of every school function.
Wow.
Like, miss, sister,
okay.
sister, ganyan. And si sister, hindi na.
Bibo kumbaga.
I was very active, and I would, like, the party person in a group. I was like I like having fun. I just liked having fun then.
Pero is it
But
true?
the values from the mga madre nga, it was run by nuns, di ba, Stella Maris. Pag nandiyan na sila, behave na kami.
But speaking of nuns, you also dreamt of becoming a nun. Is that correct?
Yes.
Bakit ganun?
I had an inspiration in fourth year high school before we graduated from high school. Her name is Sister Emma Fondevilla. I don't know if she's still where she is now. From first year to fourth year, she was our guidance counselor. And when I find it too noisy in the classroom or even during lunch breaks, I would find comfort or solace in her room because it was very quiet.
Yes.
And then I'll just talk to her. We talk and talk and talk, and she'll give me a pen. And then I would scribble on a notepad, and then she'll interpret everything that I wrote on the paper.
Pero bakit hindi natuloy yung pagmamadring yan?
When I went to college, I majored in philosophy,
Okay.
and the reason for that was purposeful. It was deliberate. But when I finished, I will only have two choices: either I go to the convent or take up law.
Okay. All right.
So,
That's smart.
because what will you do with philosophy if you don't become a lawyer or if you don't become a nurse, a nun, or a priest for that matter, diba, for men? Being a nun then left my consciousness for some reason, I don't know. So I had no more choice with philosophy but go to law school.
Wala namang you met a guy in college and change your mind?
No.
Hindi naman. Yeah.
Nothing like that, yeah.
Basta nagbago lang yung perspective along the way.
Naiba na siya. Parang nawala na. Maybe I saw the world and the world was fun. So being in a convent was no longer for me.
All right.
And then the other choice then was becoming a lawyer.
All right. Sige, dahil sa pagiging lawyer, let's go to the next photo. So this is the Marikina City Hall. You were once the legal officer way back then. So in 30 seconds, how did you end up as a city attorney of Marikina? Timer starts now.
Okay, I live in Marikina. My mom is from there. We grew up there in Marikina, and I was reviewing for the bar. I think that was in 1992. We were assisting because I like volunteering. I'm an extrovert, if you can say.
Yes, of course.
So we volunteered. I encouraged some friends, and then my sister also to help in the campaign. That was 1992 summer. I was in law school, and then after the elections, I went back to school, and then finished law. And then one person said, I I might want to work for the City Hall. So
Okay.
I said, okay. I was like 24 years old.
Wow, very young,
Yeah, so I
Very
accepted
young.
the position of legal assistant. I was earning something like 5,000 pesos a month at that time. Yeah, so I was practically subsidized by my parents.
Okay. But who was the mayor then?
It was Bayani Fernando.
Okay, so how was it like working with Bayani Fernando, knowing that he's the parang strict guy, di ba? Parang a lot of policies to change people's action, siguro,
Right.
how was it?
I would say that my work ethics, the things that I do now, how I do things, and how I think was shaped significantly by Mayor Fernando at that time because he wanted results. He would he would want us to measure productivity of each person. He was the one who said that every man in City Hall needs to have its orders. Like, all of us in the City Hall, whether we were 500, 1,000, or 2,000 strong in Marikina, we each had to have our own instruction for the day. And so that's I adopted it, I applied it, and it was also a time when Bayani Fernando was then changing Marikina. So we had so many cases because
Kaya nga eh.
so many cases, and I became shortly after I was legal assistant, I became municipal attorney, and then we became a city. So I became the very first and the only female, and the very first female as well, city attorney in Marikina. This was around
What year?
1998, 97,
Okay.
around that time.
But what was the most memorable case that you handled while you were in Marikina City?
It was an ejectment case kasi we were cleaning up
happened?
Marikina, and then of course there were so many illegal settlers, like the squatters, that we needed to move to legitimate places,
Yes.
relocation sites, and then so we would file ejectment cases against them. The most unforgettable for me is that I was up against an old guy, an old lawyer defending the rights of his client, and he was screaming at me in court. And I was like 25 years old, female. I couldn't even stand up because my knees were so wobbly. And then the consultant who was with me said, "Please state your name."
Maybe that was the strategy
Yeah,
of your
that was-
opponent that time to,
That's right.
you know.
That's right.
to
So he was
intimidate
screaming
you.
at me, and then I rushed back to the office crying. I couldn't cry in front of inside the courtroom. So as soon as I rushed back to the office, I was bawling.
I'm sure you learned a lot of things during
Right.
that incident.
Right.
But you also put up your own law firm after your stint in Marikina. Tell us about
Eventually, after Marikina, I served, I think, 2 terms in the House of Representatives as
Oh.
political affairs officer
Okay.
of our then Marikina Congressman Del de Guzman.
that. Okay.
After Marikina, as vice mayor, end of term, he went to Congress. So I assisted him as
Okay.
his lawyer. So I served him only like 2 terms, and then I started to form my own career in the private practice. I
Yes.
joined a bigger law firm. This is Rivera Santos Maranan in Tectite in Ortigas.
Yes.
And then after serving about 1 or 2 years, I wanted my name out there, right? I wanted
Of
my
course.
name in the firm
Of
name.
course.
But the partner said to give it another year. But I couldn't wait at that time. I couldn't wait. I wanted to see my name out there on the wall and have my business card saying my name.
Yes,
right?
right,
So,
right.
so I left. It was a peaceful, cordial departure naman for me. They were happy for me. And then, so I formed my own. I called it Castelo and Aladan. And the shortcut for it was Caso Law.
And you specialized on consumer rights, environmental law, and siguro may mga civil cases ka rin hinawakan because you were very popular for handling a lot of cases involving celebrities. Yes. Can you talk
yeah.
more about that, ma'am?
Okay. In my practice alone now, this time, I had associates. I was the managing partner. I owned the law firm. But I had several associates assisting me in all those cases. So I I'm basically a trial lawyer, so we would have various kinds of cases like criminal, murder, theft, physical injuries, robbery, 3019 Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. I also had a lot of practice in the Sandigan Bayan at that time. And then, of course, civil cases of collection, sum of money, breach of contract, specific performance, and all that. We avoided taxation, though.
Why?
Because I was not very good. I was never very good in numbers, so taxation. But if there were taxation cases, I would find somebody who can handle taxation. So then,
But you handled cases of Raymart Santiago, Sunshine Cruz.
also, yeah, also, I handled celebrity clients as well because Mother Lily was a very, very good client.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and
So
we became-
nire-refer ka niya?
Hindi naman, but the clients, the showbiz personalities would feel more confident because Mother Lily was with me.
Yes, okay.
Right? So, I handled plunder pala in Sandigan Bayan also. That was where...
Yeah, after Erap time, no? Tama
Yes,
ba?
yes.
Atong Ang. Let's
Yes,
talk about him.
yes, that's
what
Atong
happened?
Ang.
What happened then?
He was extradited to the Philippines for the crime of plunder. He was being located already, and then when he was found, I think he was found in Las Vegas, he was extradited to the Philippines and then charged for plunder. He went straight from the airport diretso sa Quezon City jail, and then we would go to the Sandigan Bayan to fix his documents, put up bail, or bail was not allowed, so he was moved to Bikutan. And then we had a trial, and then we requested for a plea bargaining. Charlie confessed to a lower offense, and where this lower offense entitled him to probation. So we pleaded for probation, and he was given 2 years to do that. But at that time, he was in Bikutan. I would talk to him going to Bikutan in the wee hours of the morning, so it will be safer and then more quiet, away from prying eyes.
But prior to that arrest, kilala mo na si Atong Ang?
No.
Paano,
no, I
paano
didn't
siya
know.
naging kliyente mo?
Oh, it was a friend of mine. I was in MCLE, in a mandatory continuing legal education session. And then
Okay.
somebody called me, who was a very good friend. Punta ka sa airport, si Charlie dadating, si Atong Ang dadating, extradite, sunduin mo, tapos dalhin mo kung saan dadalhin ng police. And then I said, sinong Atong Ang? Basta, pumunta ka sa airport, kuhanin mo. So that's where it happened. And then there's another male counsel who turned up to be my co-counsel. So
Okay.
dalawa kami. Ayun, so we got him, we got Atong Ang. I would call him Charlie or Mr. Ang. We took him to Quezon City Jail na nga. And then the rest is history. We're already here at the probation kasi we pleaded to a lesser offense which entitled him to probation, and then we settled the probation. There were conditions that he needed to comply with for 2 years, and he was able to comply with all the requirements naman of probation.
Granted na sa mga cases na binanggit natin, na ipanalo mo tong lahat. And of course, yung litigation kasi, ma'am, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not
Yes,
easy. Not
yes,
everyone,
that's right.
not every lawyer wants to be in the
In
court.
litigation.
Yes,
That's
and
true.
litigate. Bakit ganon? Paano mo describe yung sarili mo sa loob ng korte?
I'm kind of feisty.
Okay.
In court. I mean, maybe not the way I speak because what you're hearing now is really how I speak. But I was
Feisty in a way na.
I was feisty. I was forceful. If I know I'm right, and of course, it takes a lot of preparation. You don't go to court not ready
Yes.
because you're going to get scolded, right? So I was prepared, and I would really argue my case, especially if I knew I was right. And then, of course, you'll have to spend time also orienting your witness, briefing your witness, and making sure that everything that she says is approved by you as counsel, right?
May mga scare tactics ka rin ba? Kagaya nung ginawa sa'yo nung matandang lawyer na na-encounter mo the first time.
Na sinigawan ako.
Ginagawa mo rin ba yun sa korte?
No, because you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You actually don't have to do that. But of course, you bang your hand on the table,
Yeah.
and then you just say, Your Honor, please, right? So many things, like, Your Honor, please, may we move that statement be stricken off the records because it's totally irrelevant to the case, right? So it depends on how you say it para hindi magalit yung court. And also, because of how you say it, pagbibigyan ka. Parang ganyan yung
kailangan medyo sweet,
dynamics,
pero ano yun?
medyo forceful.
Is it an art? Parang aaralan nyo ba yan?
I think it's a strategy that you develop, depende what kind of person you are. Because if you're more brusco, even if you're female, you're more brusco, hindi naman rin mo magagawa yun sa court. And the court will not believe you or will not grant you. So, it takes a lot of... Actually, it's an advantage for lady lawyers to...
Really?
Yeah, to really study and then be presentable in court.
All right, so let's go to the next photo. This is the Department of Trade and Industry. Once you were Consumer Protection Group head, and in 2018, President Duterte appointed you as Undersecretary. Now, in 30 seconds, Attorney, tell us how you ended up as DTI, in the DTI.
Okay.
Timer starts now.
Okay. In one case in the Sandigan Bayan, I assisted a party to the case, and because his lawyer was not able to attend the hearings for several hearings, he was not present, so I would take the cudgels for him and assist the client. And then eventually the client was acquitted. And so he asked me what I wanted. I mean, of course, as compensation. And then I said, and then I knew his roots. I knew that he came from Davao.
Okay.
So I said, Sir, I just want a selfie with President Duterte.
Okay.
He was already president at that time. Early on, maybe July, August. So he said, okay, I'll make arrangements. Meet me in Davao. My staff will tell you where to go. So then I booked, ganyan. I booked the flight, went there.
You met the president?
Yes, I didn't know that the meeting place was going to be at the Malacanang of the South.
Okay.
So I was taken there, and then we waited, and then finally he arrived at the dinner table. This man is a very respected man. I mean, the one who introduced me to him, he was really kind. He even asked me to move. He even asked me to change seats with him so that I can be seated beside the president.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was it like? How was the encounter with the former president?
Oh, he was very soft-spoken. Soft-spoken, mild-mannered. He was calm. He was himself, like not the one you see on TV, not the one who would say vulgar words, right? He was very decent and very calm and soft-spoken nga. Parang nagulat ako. And then he said, Panyera, kasi he has respect for lawyers.
Yes.
Diba? Malakas ang respeto ni Pangulo sa lawyers. So, Iha, tulungan mo ba ako dito sa gobyernong to? Of course, what do you say? So you say, of course, Mr. President, what can I do for you? And then he called Senator Bongo at that time. And then, so, that's the story.
You went to Davao without even knowing that you'll be offered a job.
Yes, I went to
Hindi
Davao.
mo tinarget yun, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
I went to Davao for a selfie. I wanted a selfie with him.
And you went home with a job?
Yes, a selfie and a job.
Was it your preference? Sabi mo, pinatawag niya si Bongo. Did he offer the job or did
Right
he
away?
ask you to, what do you want to do?
No. He just asked for my business card at that time. And then that was a Friday. So the following Monday, PMS were already starting to call the office on my cell phone. And then they asked for my resume. And then, so a few days later, they were asking me, they were already saying that they were going to put me to the Department of Trade and Industry. And then I said, I have nothing to do with the Department of Trade and Industry. Why there? And then they explained that, oh, because the last entry in your resume is you're a construction arbitrator. It's an attached agency of DTI, the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines. Because I also have quite an extensive background in construction. So I was going to be in DTI. But there's nothing I will do in DTI. You know, I was practically begging, like National Defense, like DILG, because the front line, diba? I wanted the front line. Parang I felt like in DTI, walang front line, walang need for me. And then so, okay, I was in construction and I succeeded. I had a short term there, maybe a year and a half. Yes, a year and a half. That was 2016 until the end of 2017 because in January 2018, I was already moved to consumer protection.
Okay, pero sabi mo, walang frontline sa DTI, pero naging...
I didn't know.
Naging ikaw yung mukha ng DTI during that time.
Yes, because I didn't know that they had that. I would see on TV, but I did not exactly imagine how I was going to do it. But it was not the first portfolio that was given to me. So I was in construction where I had fun also. At least I was able to somehow fix a little or do some for the construction industry of the Philippines, which is actually one of the biggest contributors to our GDP, diba? Construction. So
I'm just wondering, attorney, kasi syempre, you stayed there sa DTI, na-extend ka up to the Marcos administration.
That's right, that's right.
So, I'm sure it was a very challenging one. Especially na nagkaroon po, kinasuhan po kayo, no, sa ombudsman ng isang company, no? Steel company ba, tama? From Davao City.
Yes,
What happened there, ma'am?
The gory details of it. Sige, we'll simplify. Because I was the Undersecretary for Consumer Protection, I took charge of all monitoring, enforcement, policy, and then the standards, fixing the standards, promulgating standards for all consumer products, taking in all consumer concerns, including presyo of basic necessities and prime commodities so that it will be made available to the public. But also for construction materials especially, there is a bureau called the Bureau of Philippine Standards in the DTI under the Consumer Protection Group that promulgates standards. They license, they register the products that have mandatory standard compliance. One of which are steel bars.
Okay.
So, syempre, pag ikot mo, madami yan sa hardware kasi under our list, there's cement, especially mga critical products kasi ang construction, di ba? Because of the safety of the consumer.
Yes, so may ni-raid po kayo?
Yes, in short, may ni-raid kami na walang wrong markings and no license.
Alright.
So, we did that. It was 177,000 pieces of steel pipes.
Wow, ang dami.
Yeah, that we saw in one warehouse. So we
sequestered? No.
Confiscated. We sealed all of them to make sure na hindi nila ilalabas, hindi nila magagalaw. So sobrang dami, we couldn't transport them anymore to the warehouse, to the DTI warehouse. Kasi nga, 177,000.
Yes, it's from Davao pa.
Yeah, so we sealed the products para siguradong hindi nila galawin. And then, even before our team got back to Manila, sumusulat na pala yung the owner to the secretary at that time.
Okay, so that time, how will you describe that case na ifinal sa ombudsman laban sa inyo?
Nung umpisa, it was fine because we were ready to present our evidence. We knew because there is always a policy every step that you make in government agencies. I'm sure also in the private sector.
The probability of, getting
every
a case.
step that you make, every step that you take is according to policy.
Yes.
Meron namang existing rules yan diba? And we have that also in the department at that time, especially in consumer protection, because a lot of us were lawyers there. Even my assistant then, Anne Claire Cabachan, was also a lawyer. And then the directors, also lawyers, we knew what to do. I mean, we knew where not to bend or where we needed to be firm.
Pero attorney, was that the reason kung bakit sinasabing nalagay ka sa floating status? Was that the case?
Yes,
Secretary Pascual.
Yes. Ang reason ni Secretary Pascual at that time, because I was filed an ombudsman case, graft case, for signing a memorandum order authorizing enforcement. So that was the charge filed in the ombudsman.
And what happened to the case, ombudsman, ma'am?
It has been dismissed.
Okay.
Yes, since I think early this year.
Pero yun ba yung nag-cause ng feud? O may feud ba sa pagitan nyo ni Secretary Pascual? Kung bakit ka nag-resign?
Siguro, baka meron, I didn't know. Baka meron na hindi ko alam na sinasabi niya na ginawa ko na hindi ko ginawa. Alam mo yan, parang, well, or probably we just really rubbed off on the wrong elbow. Ganyan.
Yes, of course.
I probably rubbed him off the wrong way or something. So that was the story until I was forced to leave the department in December 2023.
All right, now let's move on. Kasi to the next photo. Let's look at this photo. Okay, you are the spokesperson. Oh, you are the spokesperson of the Office of the Vice President just this month. And you were appointed. Now, in 30 seconds, tell us, bakit nyo po tinanggap yung trabaho? Timer starts now.
Okay. I have always been a Duterte supporter. It was President Rodrigo Duterte who gave me the chance to serve in the national level, right? So I served the full 6-year term when he was president. And then when Vice President Duterte took office in June 2022, of course, I would also support her, right? I really wanted to support her, but I stayed in DTI, but I was just watching them. And then I left DTI. I went back to private practice, joined the big firm where I came from. And then, but you know, when you watch, and I know them, I mean, I have contact with them, so I would every now and then offer help.
So nakita nyo na may pangangailangan.
Na kailangan.
So you applied for the job?
Yes, na kailangan.
Well, number one, may job opening ba? Or you personally, volunteered yourself, I can be your spokesperson?
That's right. No, I did not volunteer to be spokesperson.
Okay.
Of course, I left it up to them what they want to do with me, right? But going back lang sa DepEd quickly, when they were still there, I wrote some policies. I made some research, diba? In the programs, trainings that you have, you would write papers. So there were 2 that I wrote involving the Department of Education or that can be applied to DepEd. So I sent them that and advised that this can be easily implementable. This one will take some more actions, right? But it was up to them already to
but fast forward sa OVP.
Here now. So when they accepted my offer, I'd like to help. I'd like to be either you hire me or not, it's the same. Same for me.
Kasi
I'd still help.
Right.
So I will still help. And then it just happened. I'd be the spokesperson for the Office of the Vice President.
Okay, pero attorney, ano po yung character ni VP Sara in public and in private? But before you answer this question, at the forefront, we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back at the forefront. Now, ano po, attorney, yung character ni VP Sara in public and in private?
In public, you would see her very formal, diba? She's very formal and she stands tall because she's really tall. She's firm when she speaks. She's deliberate. She's intentional in what she says. parang hindi nakikipagbiruan, except of course a few times, diba, paminsan-minsan.
Yes.
But she's formal when she needs to be formal.
Oo.
And then she has very few words, I think. At least this is what I see. Kasi hindi ko pa naman siya nakasama sa work talaga ng
In a formal setting.
Yeah, yung medyo fully immersed na,
Okay.
not yet. So
Yes.
so that's how I see her. And she's a very deep thinker. Oo, malalim mag-isip, malalim. You'll be surprised that like people like us wouldn't immediately think of what she thinks of. Medyo she's very intelligent.
You knew her prior this appointment.
I knew her as the daughter of President Duterte.
Okay. You're not,
and then I knew,
hindi kayo acquainted.
No. I knew her as mayor of Davao
Okay.
kasi, of course, we would send notices to them that we are going to Davao, ganyan. Diba? Nung time that I was in DTI. But not personally. Until this
May
one.
mga ano tingin mo yung mga misconceptions about VP Sara?
Misconceptions would be one. Hindi siya mang-aaway ng tao. Huwag mo lang siya umpisahan. I mean, nakita naman natin for the first year, the second year, tahimik lang naman siya. She was working on her own, diba? Mindless of what the others around her, I mean, maybe the different agencies or the president are doing, hindi naman siya nakikialam. Just let her do her job.
But when you saw the video, during her meltdown, sa isang press conference ng gabi, what was your reaction?
She must have had a highly, extremely increased emotional turmoil. Diba? Which can happen to anyone. Ano na siguro has reached the boiling point, kaya sumabog na. Baka maraming nang nangyari before that. And then when unfortunately it was at that time when it exploded.
And kasi ang description mo sa kanya is she's very formal. It's unlikely na ganun siya.
She will protect her staff.
Okay.
She will protect kasi she's the buck stops with her. Diba? So anything that's wrong in the office, I will take the blame, just like her father.
Yes.
Diba? Anong mangyari dyan, anong mali, ako ang sisisihin. Not you, don't touch my staff, don't touch my people. Diba? A lot of times also during those hearings, she would not want her staff to join anymore. Siya na lang mag-isa ang haharap. Because she wanted to protect them. I mean, wala naman kasi sila rin tinatago. Kaya rin naman niya sagutin lahat yung itatanong nila. So siya na lang. She will protect the people around her.
Pero wala siyang anger management issues because kilala din si Inday before na napak ng isang piskal and then this happened. She threatened the life of the president and the wife and the speaker.
She's actually very pasensyosa when she's angry. Like nakita ko na din naman there would be reasons that she will get angry even at me. Pero
Ikaw
hindi
din.
na. Pero hindi siya nagre-react. Parang mahaba rin ang presensya unless siguro talagang boiling point na yung dumadating sa kanya.
Now, the OVP has received unmodified opinion from the COA for the past 3 years. Anong reaction mo dito?
This is something to be proud of for the Office of the Vice President. Kasi to receive an unmodified opinion from the Commission on Audit for 3 consecutive years, ibig sabihin, your financial statements covering your financial transactions are all presented fairly, clearly, and transparently, and very it's easy to understand.
Pero hindi nyo ba nakikita ng parang medyo paradoxical siya in a sense because she's now facing an impeachment based on those exact reasons na kabaligtaran nung nakita nung mga unmodified opinion ng COA?
That's right.
What do you think?
I am really not allowed to speak on the impeachment case because it's Attorney Michael Poa's turf,
all right.
But
Okay.
That's why it could be, given the unmodified opinion of the Commission on Audit for the last 3 years, baka dapat yung sinasabi na confidential funds is for them first to look into it the way that COA is looking at it. Hindi puro surmises, hindi conjectures, hindi conclusions na walang basehan.
Oh, let's talk about the 2026 budget, because originally you asked for the same budget noong 2025, which is 733
Right.
million pesos.
Okay.
Bakit po ito nauwi ngayon sa mahigit 900 million pesos?
Oh, yes. For 2025, we only have 733 million pesos that was approved by the COA. For 2026, naging 903 siya because we have to factor in inflation. Siyempre, there's a certain percentage that you'll add on to the amount received, to the amount this year for next year. Kasi
Yes.
may inflation yan definitely, whether big or small, there will be inflation. And then, to allow the workers under contracts or yung mga job orders or contract of service in the Office of the Vice President, pero hindi tatanggalin, we also allotted salary for them so that they can stay on for another year, at least covering the year 2026. And then, of course, yung sa satellite offices, tatauhan din yan. And then, the infrastructure, IT infrastructure that we want, that the Vice President wants, so that we can update some of the at least some of the equipment in the office.
Kung tama yung pagkakaalala ko sa binabanggit mo, attorney, from 733 million pesos,
To-
DBM mismo ang nag-increase sa kanya at first.
Yes,
Correct.
at first, at 803.
That's for the inflation? Inflationary amount?
Inflation and inflation, yes. And maybe some personnel, but when they increased it to 803, di syempre, balik kami, teka ma'am, increase nyo din pala, baka pwede nyo nang isama tong additional personnel pa, pang sweldo, so that we will not have to end their contracts for the reason that we have no more money to pay them, and update na rin some of our IT equipment.
Right there and then, in-approve nila na, okay, sige.
Hindi naman right there and then several days. Yeah, it took several days rin
But
for
wala nang
DBM.
questions asked about the further increase.
Simple questions that the OVP was able to answer. So the final approval of the DBM is at 903 million.
All right. Now, Attorney Ruth, I'll mention several categories. Ano? Ito ang mga, you can mention your top three. Top three ang tawag namin dito. Ano? So
Okay.
just mention your top three within 30 seconds. So again,
Okay.
you'll have to wait for me to say timer starts now before you begin. So first one, the top three people who shaped your character. Timer starts now.
Bayani Fernando, Secretary Ramon Lopez, and President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay, bakit po?
That's professional, ha?
Okay, you have time. So yes, you can. You
Yes,
can explain.
well, of course, above all that is my dad.
Okay.
Kasi the values I have from home, childhood, my mom also. What I am now is like, I think, what my dad was when he was my age.
All right. Now, your top three high-profile cases you've handled as a lawyer. Timer starts now.
Charlie Ang, and then Raymart Santiago. Can I not?
Name the third one.
Showbiz personalities like Sunshine Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah, and then some high government officials in the Sandigan Bayan.
Are you still in contact with Atong Ang?
We're friends. We remained friends, but not anymore. No, I don't get to talk to him. Maybe in the years past, I would borrow his farmhouse,
Okay.
ganyan, and then hanggang ganon lang.
Pero he never asked you to, represent him again for the cases?
No. He said he will need me. Sooner or later, he's going to need me. So just stay the way you are.
All right.
Just stay where you are.
Okay. So parang, okay lang. You will take it as is. In case that he contacts you again, Ruth, I need you.
Not when I'm with the vice president.
All right. Okay. Now, your top three principles you live by as a public official. Timer starts now.
Integrity and diligence and compassion.
Okay, sige. Now, your top three things that keep you grounded. Timer starts now.
My family
Okay.
and God, of course. I'm a prayerful person. what future I see for myself. That keeps me on the ground.
And
Because I see far
ano ba
ahead.
yung future na yan?
I
if you may share.
Like I see far ahead, and I'm not stopping now. So I'm looking at another maybe 20 years of a career.
Ano yung 20 years from now, kay Atty. Ruth?
The ultimate dream of any lawyer, siguro, I'd like to be.
A Supreme Court Justice?
I don't
Or
know.
Chief
I don't know.
Justice?
I don't know. but somewhere. I mean, I would want to go higher.
All right, higher, as a lawyer.
As a lawyer.
All right, now, your top 3 toughest decision you had to make in office as a public servant. Timer starts now.
Demolishing resettlers, squatters,
Yes.
and then sending a murder person to jail, like life imprisonment, and then major decision. It's really tough if you know that the person is
Is joining
guilty.
the OVP a tough decision for you to make?
Not really. I've
Okay.
always wanted this.
All right, sige. Now, your top 3 simple joys outside work. Timer starts now.
Oh, talking to a friend, laughing on the phone, talking to a friend, driving around on a rainy day without traffic. Right? It's rainy, it's cool, so you drive around.
Kanina
being
ba?
alone.
How's your experience?
Somebody drove for me today, so hindi ko masyadong na-enjoy siya. But, and then, what else?
But anyway,
Just talking to my parents, my dad, my mom, or my siblings on the phone, and we'll just laugh.
Oh, how
Like
about-
Sundays, we spend all day together laughing.
how about your children, ma'am? Kamusta sila?
Oh, they're already grown-ups. They're already in the tertiary school. One of them is in law school, the other one is
Wow.
in med school.
So following your footsteps yung isa.
Yeah, I
And
think
the
so.
other one, medical naman.
My sister, a younger sister of mine, was an OB gyne perinatologist, but she passed away some years back. And my daughter got it from her.
All right, but how do you feel about being pitted against Attorney Claire Castro? But before you answer that, ma'am, at the forefront, we'll be right back after a short break. We're back at the forefront. Now, attorney, anong pakiramdam na pinagsasabong kayo ni Attorney Claire Castro?
Hindi naman. I actually don't feel it na pinagsasabong kami. Basta, of course, we're both professionals. I'm sure she respects me also as a lawyer. We're brothers in the profession. So, I do my job. She does her job. As long as we stay focused on what we're both tasked to do, wala namang problema. Kasi also my marching order from the Office of the Vice President about the plans, programs, and activities of the Office of the Vice President and its accomplishments as well. Kasi for a long time, baka hindi alam ng mga tao teka lang, indeed, the Vice President, the Office of the Vice President is a working office. Hindi naman yan mga, the office is not composed of people just waiting to, waiting for something to happen. Hindi po. Every day, every man has his orders. Every day, lahat kami merong gagawin for every day, whether the Vice President is in the country or not.
I'm curious, personal ba kayo magkakilala ni Attorney Claire? Bakit?
Yeah, we know each other.
Kasi I'm curious because si Attorney Claire, nako-cover ko rin siya before as litigation din ng kanyang expertise before. So, I'm wondering, baka nagkita kayo sa courtroom?
I know her from the DZMM program, right?
Okay,
she has
yes.
this radio program, and then when I was in DTI, she would interview me for
Okay.
every now and then.
But no personal, level ng pagkakaibigan or what? Their son. Okay, sige. Anyway, kasi ngayon nga, sinasabi, pantapat ka kay Atty. Claire. Anong iniisip mo na lang, ma'am, whenever you face the camera and speak for the Vice President?
Trabaho lang naman yun. Trabaho lang. Hindi naman kami kailangan pag-compete kasi magkaiba rin naman kami ng principal. And then I'm sure we also have different orders, diba? Or different instructions. Kaya kung ano yung instruction sa akin, yun ang gagawin ko. Kung ano yung instruction sa kanya, I'm sure that's also what she's doing. But the important thing is, between me and Undersecretary Castro, hindi kami magkaaway.
Okay.
Diba? Hindi
Sige.
kami mag-aaway pati.
Ngayon, ma'am, let's just we did some research po, and then we'll give you a few exchange of statements. Yung sinabi mo at sinabi niya.
Okay.
And siguro, how would you like to end that statement?
Okay.
If given a chance.
Okay.
Okay, so you said, I will not be an attack dog. But Attorney Claire Castro said, VP Sara does not need an attack dog. You know what I mean. How would you
Yeah.
like to end that statement?
Okay, so I will not be an attack dog is a marching order given to me. That means no mudslinging, no bickering, no fight picking. Hindi kami, kahit na, of course, we're experiencing a lot of challenges right now, hindi ba? A lot of opposition on the part of the Vice President. Pero, because my task is only to promote the office of the Vice President, doon lang ako. Regardless of what they say about the office, regardless of what they say about the Vice President, should not affect me because there is also too much to say about the office of the Vice President na kailangan malaman ng tao, too much to do also in the OVP na kailangan gawin. So we actually don't have time.
Okay,
for that.
now you said not being able to support the Vice President is a great disservice to the country. Now, Attorney Claire Castro said, hindi po sinasara ng Pangulo ang pintuan sa Vice Presidente. How will you respond to that?
What's the first sentence again?
Sabi po ni Attorney Claire Castro, hindi po sinasara ng Pangulo ang pintuan sa Vice Presidente because you said not being able to support the Vice President is a great disservice to the country.
Yes, that's right. Let's remember, I'll just go back to the Constitution, right? The Constitution provided for a president and a vice president. There is no discrimination there. The Constitution never said the president is more important than the vice president. Nothing, diba? So because they are the two elected officials for the executive department, they are both important. So as much as the president deserves the support of the executive body, also the legislative and the judiciary, ganon din ang vice-presidente. As much as the president deserves the support of the Department of Budget and Management and the power of the purse from the legislative body, ganon din ang vice president because they also have the same functions. If you're going to read the Constitution, pareho lang ng function, diba?
Yes, agree.
The fact that none is enumerated under the vice president, ibig sabihin kung anong trabaho ng presidente, yun din yung sa kanya. And the fact also that there is a procedure for succession from president to vice president, ibig sabihin ganon kahalaga ang role ng vice president. So, wouldn't it really be a great disservice to the country kung hindi natin susuportahan ang vice-presidente?
Ma'am, ngayon, ang tanong po ng taong bayan, kailan babalik si Vice President Sara Duterte sa bansa?
She'll be here on July 28 on the day of the SONA.
All right.
I think that's the day before is the end of her trip and her engagement in South Korea.
Pero malinaw na hindi siya attend ng SONA. She will not. Or she will.
No, she will not.
All right. Now, ngayon po kasi syempre napag-usapan natin maulan and all. Ano po siguro ang mensahe ng OVP sa mga nasasalanta nating mga kababayan?
Oh yes, Gerg. Sa dami ng programa natin sa Office of the Vice President na angkap sa panahon na, tama ba yun?
Angkop na angkop.
Angkop na angkop. Sa panahon ngayon ng bagyo at saka yung mga sakunang nangyari sa atin, we have the Disaster Operation Center. Ito yung sangay sa buong opisina ng Office of the Vice President that has already been institutionalized. It's been there since July 2022, nung umupo ang Vice President, na ready na sumagot sa mga pangangailangan ng mga tao. We give food boxes, we give relief boxes, we provide hot meals for the first responders. Ito yung in the Kalusugan food truck, yung mga ating frontliners, diba, on the ground. And then yung food boxes and relief boxes for those affected by the weather, the storm, the baha, kahit na kulog, kidlat, lindol, or kung ano man yan, nandyan po ang Disaster Operation Center. This is an augmentation of what the other government agencies are already doing. Kasi hindi naman natin may iwasan na sa maraming pagkakataon, hindi lahat nabibigyan, hindi lahat na aasikaso. So, pang-augment po ang ating Office of the Vice President Disaster Operations Center.
Well, Attorney Ruth, I wish we have more time to discuss a lot of things, but thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Oh yes, thank you very much, Gerg. Maraming salamat, magandang umaga.
Her journey from courtroom to cabinet and now to the national stage as a spokesperson of the Office of the Vice President is a reflection of a career built on service, not spotlight. In a time of noise, Attorney Ruth Castelo reminds us that clarity is power. Join us again on Monday for a special BNC all-day coverage of the President's fourth State of the Nation address. On behalf of Attorney Jimeno, this is Gerg Cahiles. Keep safe, extend whatever help our hearts could give to our thousands of kababayans in evacuation centers. Thank you for spending your Friday with us.